All right, so this is a quick video to start us off with AutoCAD. Once you download it, you should be able to get to this screen, and you can pick then the new button right here to create a new drawing. And you'll see at the top it's drawing 1 DWG, and this is our new kind of 2005 interface. It does have a grid here, but I like to turn the grid off. So at the bottom right corner, you'll see all these icons. The ones that are blue are going to be on, and I'm going to click on this first icon to the right of the word model there that says display grid on, and that just turns the grid off. Okay, so we are at the very beginning. We maybe don't know this interface. You've got the ribbon across the top, a few icons at the top left, and some at the bottom right. You've got some tabs over here at the bottom. We want to stay in the model, so stay where that is. And then we have the command line, which is down here where it says type a command. That's important to us as well. The first thing we want to do is save the file, though. Right now it's called drawing 1, so we're going to go up here, and these are quick access icons that are also underneath this big red A. So the big red A here, you can go down to save right there. And you can see that floppy disk icon, it's funny that we're still using that, is up at the top here in this quick access toolbar. So either way, click save here or there. And now I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. You can decide on where to save your files. Find a folder, create a folder somewhere in documents or whatever file management that you'd like to use. There is a way right here of creating a new folder that you could use for your CAD drawings, however you'd like to do this. Just know that when you're on campus, you want to save them on your OneDrive in order for you to pick them up, or save them on the downloads file so that you can email it to yourself or somehow. You don't want to save it in documents right here when you're on campus because they've eliminated that folder for us to access. So you would want to change that. All right. So find the folder you want to put it in. Down here under file name, we're going to type in assignment 1. And if you'd like, you can put your initials or, your name after that so that it's easier for me to get to. It really doesn't matter, but there it is. I'm going to pick save. Sometimes we'll put 3D model or whatever we're doing, like blocks in there. Okay, so at this point, we want to be over here in the Home tab. Oh, and my screen looks different than yours. I need to make mine look the same as yours first. Just so you know, it does look different because I was in the 3D modeling mode. So I'll make sure that everyone sees that in the video at the beginning. So now I'm in the same ribbon as you. We're going to go over to the 3D modeling mode later in the semester. So now that we're in the out of the box, ribbon, we can pick the line command right there. And if you stop for a minute and take a look at the bottom, it says line specify first point. I'm going to go ahead and click a point. And see how it says specify next point? I'm going to click another point. And as I continue to pick points, it's giving me more options in this command line. This is your dialog with AutoCAD. You need to look down here to see what it's saying. Specify next point or close or undo. So while you're drawing a line, if I click on this word undo, or I type in U, because that's the blue letter right there, it doesn't have to be capital. I'm going to click right on undo. You see how it will undo one line segment at a time? So in case you drew a line that was not right, you can pick undo right there. So you want to look for all these like nested options. If I pick close, it's going to close back to the first point that I pick. And I'm done. I go back to type a command. Use your escape key at the top left of your keyboard to escape out of any command that is running. If you want to go back to like that basic AutoCAD waiting for you to give it a command there. All right. So if I pick right on top of one of these lines, it's going to give me these blue little grips. You can use your escape key to get out of that in case you selected it and you didn't want it to be selected. If you click on one of these lines, though, you can now either pick the erase icon up here. It looks just like an eraser, or you can right click and pick erase. You have all these options. If you pick in space and let go, I'm showing you this because this happens sometimes. You can select objects by pulling your mouse to the left or right. And I just want to show you that if you hold your left mouse button down, I use my escape key to get out of that. If you hold your left mouse button down, you'll get a completely different, polygon in order to select objects. So click and let go to create these boxes to select objects, or hold your left mouse button down and get this like more control over selecting your objects. Okay, so when you pull your mouse to the right, either way, only the objects completely inside the box are going to be selected. To the left, everything inside and crossing over the box will be selected. Not a huge deal, only if you need to get into, busy drawings and select objects. I'm basically showing you this so that if you click in space and get this, you know what's going on. Or if you hold your left mouse button down. Most of the time, we're not holding our left mouse button down, guys. We're just clicking and letting go. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and click and let go and pull my mouse across and select everything. And then I can right click and erase. That's an option. I think I'd like to get started with this assignment. It looks like this. We have a lot of other commands that we're going to be going through as we work on projects. You can see that in this ribbon, we have the draw tools and the modify and the annotation, like for text and dimensions. We have layers that we're going to be looking at right now, and then eventually we're going to get to some of these other tools. Mostly we're going to stay in the home tab here. All right, so if you just rest your pointer on any one of these, you'll see a little tool tip that shows you what it is. And sometimes you'll have like a little video that will also kick in and give you some idea of what that command does. And before you click on it, and then it also says you could press F1 if you wanted to go directly to that help line. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at creating layers. So this is our project, and I want to create a layer for the objects so that I can make that layer bold. And then I'll create a layer for the dimensions and the text. We're going to keep this one real simple. We'll just have 2 layers. And so let's together go over to layer properties. Layer properties is right here in this layers panel. It looks like this. We're going to do this several times, so you'll get a lot of experience with it. There's an icon right there that's a stack of papers with a little sun icon. It says new layer. Go ahead and click on that, and then type in objects. You can press enter twice to get to the next layer, or pick the new layer icon and type in dim text. Dim text is we're just going to dump everything in there, but companies have their own standards for layers so that we can turn them all on and off. We can lock them. We can make them a no plot layer. We can change color and line type, and we're going to change the line weight here. So the first thing we'll do is change the color. So the color kind of gives us an idea of what layer, making sure that all of our layers are coordinated. You can click, you can open up these columns by putting your pointer on that little line between them and dragging it over, sort of like Windows Excel. And then either way, you could click on this white right there, this word white or the little white box, and then just pick another color. We have a black background, so pick like brighter colors here. Don't use black, or even this dark blue is just too blue. Black, blacker. I like to use this color white right here, color 7 for my objects, but you can use whatever color you'd like. Because it's white, you know, it'll show up white on the screen, but it'll print black. So I'll use green for this one, but this one right here, see, it's color 7 or white, and it's up to you, but it does show up good on the screen, so show up well, and then if you wanted to use a different color, that's fine too. Now, some companies are using color to represent line weights and properties, which I'll show you later on. Right now, we're just using it so that visually we can see what objects are on the right layer. Okay, so for the objects layer, we're going to go even further down to the column called line weight, and we're going to click right on the word default. That should give you this line weight list of line weights. We're going to scroll down and click on 0.60 and pick OK. So now we've established this kind of like boulder line for our objects, and the default line weight is 0.25. It's just kind of a medium line weight for everything. Okay. And because we're going to draw on it, we want to double click right here on this little sheet of paper, making it the current layer. See how it changed it up here? There is a way of using this icon as well that has a green check mark that says set current. That will also put the green check mark there. Now we're set. We're set so far. We don't need the layer property manager anymore. I'm going to click on the X right here in the top left corner of that manager. But what we did right here, if you click on this word objects or this little, menu, we created these new layers. We want to keep all of those layers on, on and unfrozen and unlocked. So all of these should be yellow. And the only thing we're clicking on now would be like the name of the layer to make it current. We want the layer to be objects because that's the layer we're going to be drawing on. So I'm going to minimize this in order for me to show the assignment kind of off to the side here, but it is in Canvas for you to look at as well. There it is. All right. So we start the line command. Now this is the part that's kind of tough. When you click a point, we'll just practice this for a minute. When you click a point, don't click a second point. Just pull your mouse to the right. You see that green extended line? That's going to be that polar tracking. In don't click, just type in 2 and enter. If you move your mouse around, you'll see that you created a line that was 2. Pull your mouse straight down and type in 2 and enter. Now, for now, we're just practicing. So let's create a 2x2 box. You can pull your mouse to the left and type in 2 and enter, and then type in C for close and enter, and you've got a 2x2 box. In fact, yeah, let's just practice with this a little bit. So that's us creating this little box, 2x2. First thing I want to do before we start to look at this box is to show you that the wheel of your mouse can help you to zoom. You put your pointer right there and you can roll the wheel, and that helps you to zoom up and down into your space. You can even see that the origin point right here, 0, 0, kind of like comes out of that corner. If you double click on the wheel of your mouse, then you'll get like the whole thing coming towards you, whatever's on or thought out. And then you can roll your wheel back. If you hold the wheel down, you can pan. You're not moving the objects, you're like panning the view. So you want to get a mouse that has a wheel. If you only have your laptop, like I'm on my laptop, I'm letting go of the mouse. I may have to come over here and use this full navigation wheel. This little navigation bar is for that. This navigation wheel right here has the zoom. You have to hold your laptop button down in order to zoom, but now you're only zooming like vertically here. and pan, you can hold it down. Please do not use orbit. If you use orbit, you're going to get out of the top view. Rewind is sort of like an undo. It will rewind all of your views. And then we're not ready to use the ones inside here. So that's going to be, in case you don't have a mouse with a wheel on it. I would recommend that you do, although some students don't have it. Okay, so I'm going to pick this little X to get out of there. You also have this little hand for pan. You have this one for zoom. You have zoom extents. And also, if you type in Z and enter, you have all those commands there for zooming. If you type in Z and enter, and then you type in, for instance, E for extents, because that's in the command line, and enter, there's your zoom extents. But again, I'm going to use the mouse wheel to zoom up and down, to hold it down to pan, and double click to zoom extents. Okay, so practice. Start the line command, click a point, pull your mouse in the direction you want to go in. Don't click. Type in something different. Type in 4 and enter. Pull your mouse down straight. Make sure your mouse isn't like pulling you in any direction. Type in 2 and enter. See this? Pull your mouse to the left, forward, enter, and then C for close. This is all practice. But what if you need to find out, well, did I draw that right? Well, one way is to double click on the line. Double click on the line and you'll see the length right there, 4.0000. And right now it's 4 inches because we're working in the imperial, inches and feet. If it was metric, it would be 25.4, larger, a lot larger. And we do have a couple of metric assignments that we're going to be looking at as well. You don't have to use metric, system to draw it in AutoCAD. Okay. The other way of measuring this is under utilities here. You can go under measure, and we have this kind of cool quick measure. If you pick on quick and go into your drawing and kind of move around, you'll see any angles, you'll see the how big it is, and you can verify. That's one way. Another way that I use a lot is called distance. I actually type in DIST, and distance, you can click 2 points and find out the distance between those 2 points. And it'll tell you right there in the command line. I'm going to use my escape key to get out of that. And I'm going to erase all of this so that we can get started with our project. So I'm going to click in space, pull my mouse across, and click to select all of these, and then use the erase icon. This is one way to erase it. All right, so we have this started as assignment 1. We are on the objects layer that we're going to be working with. Let's start the line command, and we're going to walk ourselves around this, and that's why I put way more dimensions that we normally put. I'm going to click a point, pull my mouse to the right, type in 2 and enter for this 2 right here dimension. Pull my mouse down straight, type in 2 and enter. Now, if you happen to have some mouse movement and it went way over here, right, you could just type in U and enter and get that one line segment back. Now I'm going to pull my mouse to the right and type in 2 and enter. Yeah, and then down 2.5, you don't have to type in the 0. And if you look at this drawing, like I said, I put way more dimensions than we would normally see on a drawing. I'm going to pull my mouse to the left and type in 3 and enter. There's a little 0.5 right there. We can pull our mouse up and type in 0.5 and enter. Over 2.5 and enter. See what I'm doing? I'm just pulling my mouse in the direction I want to draw in and typing in the distance. Pull my mouse up, 2.5 and enter. Over 1.5 and enter. And then you should be able to type in C for close and close back to the first point that you picked and then be done with it. But let's just say you got out of that. You got out of this, and you only drew like 2 or 3 lines, and now you need to draw this line. You just start the line command and make sure that you have these object snaps on. These little green boxes or triangles are going to help you to like connect to that that endpoint. So I'm going to click here, endpoint, I'm going to click here, and then I'm done. I have this kind of like extra line here. I have to press enter or right click and pick enter to get done with that command. Look, I'm already at 20 minutes, so most of these videos are going to be between 30 and 45, but you are required to use at least 6 hours a week on these. So depending on your skill level, you should be able to put a minimum of 6 hours in each week. Okay, I did say we were starting slower here, but it's going to be comfortable. All right, so we have my object, and now I need to change the layer. Well, what if I forgot to change the layer? Yeah, why don't we put one dimension in and pretend like we forgot to change the layer. So up here in annotation, don't use this big dimension. I mean, it does work, but it kind of throws things off. And I'd like you to learn what all these are underneath linear. So we're going to use linear. So go up here in annotation and click on linear. Click the top left corner, the top right corner is your 2 points. Pull your mouse up and click. You're going to see right away that we have to change our precision, but you also will see that the color is the same as my object layer. That's the first thing you want to do is say, wait a minute, I need to put this on the right layer. The quick way of organizing your drawing is to just click on that dimension once to select it. Then drop this layer list down and click right on dim text. See what happens? It moves to the right layer. Now I can use my escape key to get out of that command. All right, we need to change our precision. Everybody's gonna type in D and enter. Just the letter D and enter. It's kind of a quick way to get to the Dimension Style Manager. We'll keep using the standard and we're gonna pick modify. Pick modify, go to the primary units tab. Throughout the semester, we're going to look at all of these different tabs. But right now, we're in primary units, and there's the precision right there under unit format. I'm going to go ahead and change that to 0.00. And for this assignment, that's all we're doing. Let's go ahead and pick OK and close. And you see how there's like a link to that, that dimension. Okay, so now we can move forward with dimensioning, and you'll go back to linear here and click on the corners that you want to start the extension lines from. So like the corners of the object. So I'm going to click here and here over in this corner. And then you have to pull your mouse over and up in order to get it to line up. And then don't just eyeball it here, guys. Go all the way over to the arrow and make sure that you get this like object snap to get like connected to it right there. Oh, and I didn't change the layer. So that was one of the things. So that means I have to select this one, drop the list down, pick right on dim text, move it to that layer, use my escape key to get out of that, and then also drop this list down and click right on dim text to make it current. Now that it's current and the one that I'm drawing on, I can continue drawing. So again, I'll come around here to draw these. You can start the linear command, click here on the corners that you want to pull the extension line from, pull your mouse over and click. Now, if you accidentally had picked this corner over here, and now you have the extension lines over the top of the lines, there's a little issue with that. We don't have a gap. And if too many of those are in there, they kind of look like or appear to be part of the line. So how you can fix that is you can click on the dimension and use any one of these blue boxes to kind of like pull that corner back. So select the dimension, click right on this blue box and let go. Pull it over and click on this corner to kind of like pull it back, right? Use your escape key to get the grips off of that. I need to check something because down at the bottom, and I'd really like you to go here because we're going to get here sometime soon. At the bottom right corner, you'll see all of these icons. Please keep those that are blue, like this should be the defaults. This is fourth one and these over here. But there's one called Object Snaps, and it has a little arrow next to it. Actually, I can see that I need to turn something off. There it is, so that mine looks just like yours. Click on the little arrow next to that Object Snap one, and what you'll see is you'll see these Object Snaps. These are the ones that are running, and this is how you're able to like grab on to the endpoints. I accidentally had Node on there. I don't want that on. So I believe also out of the box, AutoCAD doesn't have midpoint checked, but we are going to check that later on. The computers on campus will always default back to these object snaps that are basic, but your computer will keep those on if you turn them on. And so what I have there, I have endpoints, centers, intersections, and extensions. So eventually we're going to be adding more, but those are like turning on those grips, those kind of like magnets that pull you to and make sure you're drawing with accuracy. That icon right there needs to be blue. I'm going to click off of that and show you that this one right here, the object snap, that needs to be blue. All right. So we're ready to draw extended draw. And if I right click, because I just created a dim linear, the next command, if I right click and pick, I can repeat dim linear, or you can go back up to linear. I'm going to click here and make sure you come back over here to the arrow. You see how now I'm getting the endpoint? You don't want to try to fudge this because those arrows are not going to be lined up when you print. All right, so it's 3 clicks. So at this point, you can go back to linear right here, or you can right click and repeat dim linear. I'm going to click here and here, right click, repeat dim linear. See what I'm doing? Now be careful here. I'm going to get the outside corners, and then I'm going to go close to the dimension, make sure it's right on. This one's going to go all the way from that corner to that corner. Come down here and click. Okay, right click, dim linear. You see what I'm doing? I'm clicking on the corners of the objects. This one's actually coming way over here a little bit, right? Because we have another one that's here. If you look at the drawing, it's a little, yeah. And then we have another one that's here. Now you see what I did? I almost went back over here, but I need to come out to the end here and here and then here. All right. I put way more dimensions than I would normally have on a drawing, but this is to give you the experience and also help you to, draw this first one. So that's it right there. We're ready to put our text on here. We can go to multi-line text, which is underneath this, still in this annotation panel. Underneath text, if you click on that arrow, you can go to multi-line text. Right here, you're going to be able to click a point for the first corner. Now pull your mouse to the right. You're creating a box right here that you're going to be able to draw in. So pull your mouse over to the right and click, and the whole ribbon changes. I'm going to maximize my screen now because I think we're done with this. Well, actually, I'm going to stay here. With your cap locks on, this is where you type in assignment 1, press enter, and type in your name. This is supposed to be where your name is. Don't type in student name or my name. Type your name in there. And then hold your left mouse button down and highlight it, like drag it across assignment 1 so that it's highlighted. If you look at the ribbon, you have all these choices now because you're in the text editor. And over at the top left, you'll see where their bold and italics is. And let's go ahead and click on underline. So we're underlining assignment 1. And now click in space. Click in space, and that will end the text command. If you need to get back into it, you can double click. Double click on the text and you can go back into it and change whatever you'd like. If maybe you spelled it wrong or you need to put your name in there, and then click in space. Now, if you need to move it over a little, instead of using the move command, we're going to click on your text, and then you can click inside this blue little grip if you want to move it around that way, but you're kind of limited on where you're clicking. That's your choice. If I wanted to move this over, you see how it's kind of like popping over there? Yeah, use your escape key to get out of that. If you select it and then hold your left mouse button down on the text or whatever object you're moving around, you can drag and drop it to wherever you need to bring it if you want to like center it a little bit more. All right, so creating kind of a quick video, we're ready to, we want to save the file. Every time you save it, the first time you save it, you're creating a backup file there, and then like every 10 minutes, there's an auto save that's kicking in. I just want to show you that. If I press F2, F2 is a function key on your keyboard, and I scroll back, I should be able to see where the auto save kicked in. Way back here. Every 10 minutes, auto save is kicking in and creating another file. There it is. Auto save. Right there. It's another file that's like kind of a third level of saving. It shows you exactly what folder it's in, but the extension is $. So you have the DWG, you have a backup file that's in the same folder, and then you have this $. In case both crash and you need to go find that third level of saving, of getting that information. Every 10 minutes it's kicking in to save your file. And since we're talking about it, if you ever wanted to change the time between it, type in save time, which is all one word, and enter. You see the 10 minutes is in brackets there in the command line. I typed in SAVETIME. I just wanted to show you that 10 minutes is the default. And anytime there's a number inside those like brackets, that's kind of the default. If I wanted to have it save every 5 minutes, I could just type in 5 and enter, and it would do that. All right, use your escape key to get out of that. Now let's print. We can go up to the top there and click on that little plot icon. That's one way. You know, it's also down in here called print, and then up here plot. So let's just click on the little plotter icon right there. And what we're doing here, and we're going to continue to do this for most of the semester, all of this semester, is change this name of the plotter to AutoCAD PDF high quality print right there. And we want to be able to change the display. We don't want to plot where it says plot area, what to plot. We don't want to plot the display. We want to create a window around the objects that we want to print. So we're kind of like establishing the paper. So let's go down here to window and click. It kicks you out here. We want to click a point and pull your mouse across and create like a little box that kind of has even amount of space around your project, and click. All right. Now, if you needed to change that window, there is a window button here that will help you to get back to changing that if you needed more space or less space. You can imagine if your box is really big, your print's going to be really small because it's fitting to the paper. All right, so let's go ahead and put a check mark and center the plot at the bottom left there. At the top right, we're going to change our pens to monochrome so that we're printing to a black and white, like we're printing to a black printer, but we want it to print black. If we didn't change this, it's going to take your like green or yellow lines and print them gray kind of to the printer. So monochrome, pick yes, and then pick apply to layout and preview. So apply to layout at the bottom is important because all of those changes will be saved here if you pick apply to layout and then pick preview. And that's you're previewing your project. I just saw right here I missed a dimension. I missed the dimension. I have it all saved. I'm going to pick this red X at the top left. It's going to bring me back. I'm just going to cancel this. I'm going to go back, make sure my layer is dim text, click on linear, and I believe I needed to have this dimension right here. Let's just double check. Okay, I think I have them all now, and all of these little gaps are there. You know, I pulled back those extension lines if I needed to, and I think I'm good to go. So now I'm going to go back to plot. I've got everything in place. I can pick preview, and now it looks good. It looks good, so I'm going to either right click and pick plot or pick that little printer at the top left. It's going to ask you, like, where do you want to put it? Hey, I'm just going to use the same name right there. I'm not even going to change. I'm going to keep it as the name, you know, dash model PDF. Pick save. Now you have a PDF. You have a DWG, you have a PDF. And these are the two files that you're going to submit to Canvas. I can show you that. Let me see if I can get in there and show you how to do that. I guess I need to put it in the student view. I can click on assignment 1, and I'm going to put that video right in here, like this video, and then I'm going to pick start assignment. Here I can click on upload file and choose file, right? And then you have to kind of navigate over to where your files are, wherever they were. Here I've got a lot of other ones here. At this point, you want to look for the file that has that little blue and orange icon, but it also says DWG file right over here. And if you hold your left mouse button down on it, it says AutoCAD file. You want that one, and you want the PDF. So down, oh, where is it? Assignment 1, right there. This one, PDF. It tells you the date that it was created, those two. Because I'm still in the file, it's going to show me DWL and DWL2. Those go away once you close the file. Oh, I'm going to have to hold. Well, I guess you can only upload one at a time. That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and click that one and pick open. And then I can pick add another file and upload a file and choose the file. There's a lot of steps. And then get this one, double click or pick the open right there. Now you have these two files, and you can pick submit the assignment. It should give you a lot of, you know, congratulations, which is kind of nice. I didn't know until recently that it actually did that. So that's you knowing that you submitted. You should be able to see in grades. I don't know if I can see this in grades. Yeah, you would be able to see that you submitted it. And then I see that little icon right there on my side. And then, you know, I'll get to grading as fast as I can. I try to do it every week. If you submit a project later, then I might, you know, not get back to it because I'm trying to get to everyone else's who's submitting it each week. All right, we talked about that also. So in the modules under the assignment, you'll have the file of the assignment, and you'll have two videos. One video is going to be this really quick short form. It's not really quick. It was 35 minutes video, but it's better than the 3-hour class time video of everyone else. In there, we're talking about everything else, but I will post that one as well. All right, guys. I think that should be it. If you have any questions, let me know, and we're going to move forward with more assignments next week.